Inside the stories that affect you. This is Inside KELOLAND.
Well, thanks for joining us. I'm Tom Hansen. Despite our best laid plans, life sometimes throws us a curveball. When that happens, it's nice to have someone or some place to lean on to help regain your footing. Today, we're visiting with two such organizations and looking at other ways we as a community can answer the call for help. Now, one organization that has seen success through providing encouragement and a little tough love is the St. Francis House in Sioux Falls. Today, Julie Becker, the executive director of the St. Francis House, joins us via Zoom to share some details on the organization and the community support. Julie, thanks for being with us.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate the time.
Now, your mission is one that can resonate with a lot of people. It's moving people from homelessness to hope. How do you make that a part of each day?
Well, part of our values is that we welcome people into our home and we accept them for who they are and the life choices that have brought them to us. And this is when they begin a new slate in life and they can begin rebuilding their lives without judgment, without looking at their past decisions that they made. And we begin helping them build a new foundation in life. And each guest that comes to us comes from different life circumstances, different upbringings. And so we try to provide service to them that are all individualized. One person might be just there for, 60 or 90 days because they want to get back into their household with their family. And this is a way how they can prove to their family that they're going to remain sober and get on a new way of life. And then we have some that will stay with us for anywhere from up to 9 to 12 months, just because they didn't get into this situation overnight. It takes a little bit of time to be able to get out of the situation.
Now, the organization is celebrating, 35 years? What's changed over that time?
Wow, there's a lot of different questions there that can be answered. I think first and foremost, when people see the St. Francis House today from when it was at its inception back in 1987, of course, the physical building is so much different. We have this beautiful new home that we can spread out, especially during this pandemic, and keeping people safe, and we can house more people, and we can enhance our services from offering everything from a spirituality component to financial literacy to trainings and classes, not only for our guests, but also for our staff on growth and development. I believe that, right now we have 4 case managers on staff, and when I started, we had 1. So we are able to provide more individual services for the individuals that we serve. And back when I started 16 years ago, and even before that, when it's opened, we only had 2 family units, and now we have 7. So we continue to grow to meet the needs that the community kind of dictates for housing, and so that we can help prevent people from falling through the cracks in our community.
Now, you play a big role in making Keep KELOLAND Warm a success. What kind of community response have you noticed from this program?
Keep KELOLAND Warm, as many know, started because, unfortunately, we had someone who froze outside. And between Montgomery Furniture and Lewis Drug and KELOLAND TV, it was a great effort to be able to make sure that we're keeping people warm in the community. Well, none of us planned for this little thing called a pandemic to throw a big wrench in. So we didn't want the program to go away. So we stepped up and we had this space in our beautiful new home in our basement that we accept coats, and we disperse them. Right now we're dispersing to 18 different agencies, and those include some of the schools in our community, as well as, of course, nonprofits, but also some of the state agencies. And what's really amazing is this awesome community that we live in. And it's not just Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We had a news story just a short time ago where we talked about the need for the larger size coats. And my staff was giving me a hard time because all these boxes were getting delivered. And they're like, Julie, you got to stop shopping. And I'm like, I didn't shop. Well, it was so amazing that so many people went to either JCPenney's or Amazon, wherever it may be, and they purchased those larger size coats and had them directly shipped to the St. Francis House so that we could get those into the hands of the individuals in our community that needed those size coats. Now that is just a wow moment of this amazing community and the surrounding area.
That is amazing. Now, you can also help support the St. Francis House later this month with help from Hy-Vee, right?
Correct. We were selected for the Helpful Smiles, and starting on January 26th is our week. And any money that is donated in the canisters at the Hy-Vee stores with the St. Francis House logo, Hy-Vee will match that, dollar to dollar up to $1,000. And for the community to know what we use those funds for, we turn around and purchase Hy-Vee gift cards right from Hy-Vee with those funds. And then those are dispersed to our guests and our families so that they are able to either purchase medications for their children or for themselves until they get their first paycheck. It also helps with gas. If they're in between paychecks, families and our guests still need to be able to get to work and pick kids up from childcare. And for our family, it helps with those perishable items that we don't always get donated. We can give them one of those Hy-Vee gift cards, and then they can go to Hy-Vee and purchase the items that they need for their family.
All right. Hey, do you have any recent stories about guests that you could share with us?
I love so many of our guests and for what they do. I know our guests as they come in. That's one of the best parts of my job, is getting to know the people that we serve. And I have two different stories that I'll share very quickly. One, I was very blessed last Tuesday to be able to go to DUI court and be the guest speaker for one of our past guests who graduated from DUI court. She reached out to me, and she was in our program for a year and now has been in her own apartment for a year. And to be there for her and to share in her success, that she took that effort to think back to the individuals that helped her, was pretty amazing to be there and to be part of that whole team and that family that she has gained from the support of that program. So that was just a true blessing. And one of our recent stories, which some may say, that's kind of interesting, but one of our past guests had moved out into his own apartment. And I always tell them when they leave, I don't say goodbye, I say, I'll see you later. And I always tell them that when they become part of the St. Francis House, they're part of our family. We're always going to be there, just like family is. And this young man, I'll call him Tim, called me and said, Julie, my living situation is not going good right now. I'm being tempted, and I need to maintain my sobriety and all the skills and tools that I were given at the St. Francis House. Is there any way that I can come back for a period of time so I can build up on that stability and find a new place to live so I can maintain my sobriety? And just like I've done for my kids and my parents did for me, sometimes we have to go back home for just a little bit of time to have that love and that appreciation, that acceptance and support. And so that is the really cool part about our guests, is they know that when they get into a tough situation, all they have to do is pick up the phone and they can come back home and they can stay with us and get their bearings back together, and then we'll send them out and let them spread their wings again. And so that's the really cool part about what we do at the St. Francis House.
Absolutely. All right, Julie. Well, thank you for everything you do, and thank you for joining us here today.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate the time.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. Stay with us inside KELOLAND. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back. Today, we're talking with local agencies that play a major role in helping people when they need it the most. Today, Megan Jose from Feeding South Dakota is here to offer insight into what the agency sees on a daily basis. Thank you for being here, Megan.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You know, there are a lot of misconceptions about who uses your services. Can you tell me about the people?
Yeah, so right here in South Dakota, maybe a step back, as somebody that's food insecure, is someone who doesn't have access to enough food to live a healthy lifestyle, or someone who doesn't know how to access nutritional food on a regular basis. And so food insecurity exists right here in South Dakota in every county that we have here in our state. So just in South Dakota, 1 in 9 individuals is food insecure, and 1 in 6, probably a more painstakingly stat, is that 1 in 6 children are at risk of going hungry. So that's why we're so thrilled to be able to provide services, because it's so needed in our state and so prevalent.
I think we're always surprised when we hear people are going hungry in South Dakota, but what is food security and what's it look like in South Dakota?
So that's really what our team is here to do. So we have programs, great programs that are able to assist folks who are food insecure. So our backpack program we're able to come alongside our children and students who are on free or reduced meals at school. And so our backpack program is able to provide those students with food assistance when food is not in session. We also have mobile food pantries that are our team going out into the communities and providing food to individuals and families on a monthly basis. Great things like fresh produce, fresh protein, things like that that are able to sustain them throughout the month and really come together with other food that they're providing for their family. And then our senior boxes as well, providing food for individuals who are 60 and older on a limited income, providing them with food on a monthly basis. So we're able to come alongside those that are food insecure in our state and provide that food assistance when they need it.
Wow. So how has the pandemic changed how you guys operate?
Some big changes. So we typically, before COVID, we had pantries in our distribution centers, so folks could come to the distribution center and shop there in the pantry. And much like everything else, we had to close those pantries. And so we really then turned to our mobile food pantries. And so taking food to where the community needs it instead of them having to find us was a big change. And that's been a great change for our model as well, taking food to those food insecure places, food deserts. And then another big change has just been being innovative in the way that we're providing food, because just like many other statistics, we've seen a 15 to 20% increase at our mobile food pantries of guests coming to receive food assistance. So that's been a big thing that we've been able to provide and really worked hard at, is bridging the gap of that 15 to 20% increase that we've seen.
Yeah, how were you able to meet the needs of people in 2021?
We had great supporters, everybody from folks who did food and fund drives, folks who donated, folks who did fundraisers for us, individuals who donated on an individual basis with their organization or through a company. So we're so grateful for all of those partners. With those programs that I mentioned and with our agency partners across the state, we were able to provide over 14 million meals to those in our state. So we're just really proud of the impact and thankful to those that came alongside us to be able to support so many individuals and provide so many meals last year.
I know you've talked about the types of programs you have. Let's go over those.
Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of programs do you offer?
So the backpack program is probably one of the most known. Our backpack program, our team and volunteers pack those packs every week, things that are like easy to prepare snacks and meals for those students as they're not in school. So those meals or those packs are provided each week to the school and then distributed as the students go home for the weekend. Is probably the most notable and most recognizable program that we have. Our mobile food pantry, folks can receive food assistance at one of our mobile food pantries that best suits their needs in their community or maybe on their way home from work, whatever works for them. And then they'll receive that assistance on a monthly basis. Great things like fresh produce, vegetables, things to sustain them, rice, cereals, things that they can provide for their families throughout the month. And then that senior box is something that I find really special. Our seniors age 60 and up that are on a limited income, making sure that they're able to sustain throughout the months, and things like fresh cheese and dairy, canned fruit, vegetables, things that they need on a monthly basis as well.
What are your greatest needs for 2022?
We are always looking for volunteers. We were just discussing this before, things like quarantines, things like illness, daycares closing, whatever the situation might be. We're always looking for volunteers at our locations, and folks can volunteer with us Monday through Friday. We have a morning shift and an afternoon shift, so we are definitely looking for volunteers right now. We are also hiring We have operations associates positions that are open. Our operations associates are all things food, so they're making sure that our day-to-day operations are up and running. And then a donation can go so far with Feeding South Dakota. We're able to turn $1 into 3 meals, so that's a great way that you can make sure that your dollars go 3 times as far.
I was just going to ask about the impact of donations, because that gives you guys a lot of flexibility, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. We actually have a new food sourcing team, which has just been an incredible add to our team at Feeding South Dakota. This team is focused solely on making sure that we're securing and procuring food for all of those great programs that we have. And so with donor dollars, with us being able to make them go 3 times as far and provide 3 meals for every dollar, that's just one great way that we're ensuring that donor dollars are just having such a great impact for our community.
All right, about 20 seconds. If people need food, want food, how do they get it?
They can go to our website is probably the easiest. If you're looking for ways for Feeding South Dakota, go to our website and there's a great big orange Get Help button. That's one great way. And then we also encourage folks to visit 211, great resource to receive food assistance throughout the state. So.
All right, Megan, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks
it.
for having me.
All right. We are going to take a quick break. Stay with us inside KELOLAND. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Inside KELOLAND. Winter months are one of the busiest times of the year for homeless shelters. That's especially the case when temperatures dip to dangerously cold levels. In Rapid City, shelters are doing their best to keep up. KELOLAND's Sydney Thorson looks at the need and how you can help.
From hats and gloves to warm food and coffee, donations are needed at the Cornerstone Mission. Executive Director Lisa Allison says many essential supplies are being affected by supply chain issues.
Most households have 4 to 6 people. We've got 150 people, plus I don't know who's coming in for dinner that night. So we're just trying to make do with what we've had. We've had to change a few brands. We're waiting longer than anticipated, and it's just created some shortages that we don't normally have.
Here at the Cornerstone Mission, there are 100 beds that folks without homes can use. Right now, they are all currently full, with 40 extra people sleeping on the floors.
The winter is always our busiest season. We're just going to do what we can to keep people safe and to keep them out of the elements.
Over at the Hope Center, Executive Director Melanie Tim says the facility sees over 200 people a day during this time.
It makes for a loud room and a busy room when we have more people spending more time indoors.
So Tim is asking the public for a different kind of donation.
There's a lot of organizations that could use people's help. So I guess if my only plea would be that if anybody has any free time to choose one to donate their time to, because right now everyone's in need of some extra hands.
In Rapid City, Sydney Thorson, KELOLAND News.
We've included links under this story where you can donate and find information on the homeless facilities in Rapid City. Just head to KELOLAND.com. The Multicultural Center in Sioux Falls turns 25, the impact it's making when Inside KELOLAND returns. For the last 25 years, a local organization has worked to make sure that everyone in the community feels a sense of belonging. KELOLAND's Sarah McDonald takes a look back at how the Multicultural Center has done just that and its plans for the future.
Throughout Sioux Falls, you'll notice people of different cultures and backgrounds. That diversity will only continue to grow as the city welcomes more people. For the last 25 years, the Multicultural Center has served as a place for people to learn, celebrate, and share the community's diversity.
Sioux Falls is growing so rapidly. We see so much diversity in our community, and the fact that our organization has not only been around for 25 years but has been thriving shows that there is a need for the programs and resources that we provide in the community.
The Multicultural Center was founded in November of 1996. It started out with a discussion between several people with a passion for helping others.
There was a surge at that point in the county and the state. We're all saying, we need some resources. What do we do? And so it was born out of that. So we asked several community members to join us who had the passion for making a difference with kids and families.
Janelle Mills is one of the original founders.
There is a need to figure out how do we help all these families that are coming, how do we help them belong and get a sense of belonging to a community so they're not separate. Because we know that when we're all working together, the community is stronger.
Now, a quarter of a century later, the organization is still making a difference. It offers a variety of programs and resources for community members.
We have over 20 interpreters on staff, and we offer translations in over 25 different languages. And those services are used by hospitals, medical professionals, attorneys, the court systems, the police department. Really, anytime there's a language barrier, we are one of the first people that get the call to bring a translator or an interpreter on site.
The organization also does community outreach and has a workforce development program.
Clients come in, meet with a program coordinator who can walk them through everything from building a resume, teaching them how to apply for jobs online, interview preparation, and we also provide free interview clothing at our career closet.
Over the last 25 years, the diversity in Sioux Falls has grown. Whitman says there are over 140 languages spoken within the city.
We know that our school systems are very diverse. I think 40% of the students in school right now are considered minorities. And then with organizations and companies like Smithfield, like the Amazon Distribution Center that's opening up, we're going to see a lot of different diverse community members joining Sioux Falls.
This summer, the Multicultural Center will also celebrate 25 years of the Festival of Cultures.
People can go who, might not traditionally have been exposed to other cultures or ethnicities, and they can go and they can learn about them, they can sample foods from different cultures, they can see entertainment from different cultures, they can buy goods from folks who, are not native to Sioux Falls or South Dakota.
While Whitman says they are looking forward to that event this summer, she's also looking forward to what the future holds.
I would love to expand our programs. I know a really hot topic right now in Sioux Falls is childcare. I would love to explore what childcare would look like through our organization. I want to expand our workforce development program.
A place where everyone is welcome.
Today there's so many divisions. There's so many things that separate us that we can have one place that says it doesn't matter where you come from, what you look like, what your color of skin is, what the clothes you wear, you're welcome here and we're going to celebrate you.
With Eye on KELOLAND, I'm Sarah McDonald.
The Multicultural Center was going to celebrate 25 years with a birthday celebration this month, but decided to cancel due to COVID-19. For more information about the organization and future events, we've provided a link with this story on KELOLAND.com. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Be sure to join us again next week for more of what's going on inside KELOLAND.